anything in life, anything in creativity, the same thing could either be a positive thing or a negative thing. It's all about how you frame it and your mindset, you know? So if you want to get your name out there, if you want to put your name to potential clients that you could have, they're going to find you on social media. That's also, again, one of my favorite things about street is that you get to encounter people, you get to have good conversations, you get to meet people, connect with like the environment. And yeah, it just kind of ingrains you into the society, into the community.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What's good?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So yeah, guys, we have another episode of the Urban Story here today. So we are here in downtown right now. And yeah, I'm gonna let him introduce a little bit about himself.
Yeah. So my name is Hamza Rashid. I go by Hamza Rashid, Hamza.RASHIIID on Instagram. I've been a photographer for around 4 years now. I started right before the pandemic. And now, like past couple months, I've been getting more into video stuff. So yeah, I'm just overall like, I love creating any photo, video, content creation, that kind of stuff. Like capturing the streets, like capturing stories all around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Walk us through what you are shooting today with the camera and lens.
So I'm shooting with a Sony A7 IV. I actually got this camera like a couple months ago. It's been 2 months. Before that, I had a Canon for 4 years, but so yeah, I switched over to the dark side. And I have this Sigma 35 1.4. This lens, I actually won it. So like Sigma on their Instagram, they were like, yo, tag 3 people and you have a chance to win. I was like, yo, why not? It takes a couple seconds to tag, and I actually won one of those. You know, I always thought those were fake, you know, like I'm never winning one of those. I never expected it. But yeah, I've had this 1.4 35 for like a few weeks now. It's really cool, like, so I'm just like testing it out today as well.
All right, man, so let's walk around and see what you're gonna capture today with the street.
Sure, bro, let's do it.
Can you walk me through like how you start photography?
Yeah, so in 2019, I graduated high school, and then after that, I wanted to do a gap year because at that point, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life. I didn't have anything specific that I liked. And after that, I came across this YouTuber. His name was Nightscape, and he's not specifically a photographer. His main thing was that he did like rooftoping stuff. So he'd go on top of buildings, like get really cool views and just bring his camera with him. And he'd be documenting like just his whole experience with rooftoping and stuff. So I was like, yo, this shit looks sick. I want to try it. So one day I'm walking around the city and I saw that there was this construction site and the door was wide open. And I was like, yo, I gotta check it out. Yeah, so I went in and I brought a camera with me. I started taking photos of like my experience doing that building. And yeah, I started doing that. But mainly at the start, I was just doing like rooftoping and then documenting my experience doing it. But then over time, like I just fell more and more in love with like the photo taking aspect. And then I like branched into street, portraits, cars, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm just like, I don't do rooftoping anymore because it is kind of sketchy. It's not the safest thing to do. So yeah, I'm just on the ground.
Getting more, you know, more view on the ground.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's a good view up there, a good view down here. For 2.5, 3 years, I was studying computer science. And throughout the whole time, I would always like skip doing homework and stuff just to like edit photos, to go out and take photos. And I always knew that that's what I was loving the most, but I never believed that I could take it full time just because of like a lot of self-limiting beliefs, you know? Like it's really hard to make it in this industry. It's not like something that most people who try could do. So I had doubts that I could like make a living doing it. After a while, I was just like, I couldn't imagine myself doing like a 9-to-5 job where I'm like sitting. Like I want to do something where I'm like, where it doesn't even feel like a job. For example, this, like, I'm always on shoots and then halfway throughout, I'm like, I can't believe I'm working right now, technically. Like that kind of feeling is what I need to be able to do for work, or else like I know I'm not gonna have like a good life. Like I can't like just be like, okay, like 30% of my life I'm gonna do what I don't wanna do and then 70% I can live. I don't wanna be like that. So around a year ago, I started posting a lot more content on like social media, and some of the videos started to do really good, started to grow, started to get more traction. And then at that point I was like, yeah, like I have to go all in. it's now or never, you know? And yeah, I dropped out of university, and it's been a year and a half where I've been doing this like full time, like trying to like grow as much as I possibly can, trying to make more money out of it, stuff like that.
So I see you have a lot of good photos, you know, like what is the
Thank you, man.
photography that you are interested into specific, like street, car, or you know, like more about portrait, wedding?
So I'm more of a man of all trades. Like I don't like boxing myself into one niche. That's the beauty of like content creation. Like I guess if you just have a business and you're not doing content creation, then you would have to focus more on one niche. But I like doing everything, man. Like street, car stuff, portraits, city stuff, nature stuff, and that's how I like it. I like to be able to switch it up, experience different things. So recently I've been doing a lot more car stuff. I got into that like a few months ago, and like I'm really having a good time with it. It's so fun, like because I get to ride in the cars too. Like yesterday I was doing a shoot, and there's a Toyota Supra, and the driver let me just drive the car around. Like it's cool, it's a fun time.
It's an experience, right?
Yeah, it's super fun, man. And like before I started shooting cars, I didn't even like driving at all. But now I'm like obsessed with like cars and driving and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, like I really like portraits and street. I would say my top 3 are portraits, street, and car stuff, for sure. He went inside.
We missed it. It's all right. What do you normally feel when you miss a shot?
I don't really mind it, honestly, because moments come all the time. Yeah, it doesn't really upset me too much, because I know there's gonna be a moment like in no time where I really like it. And honestly, like I like all moments. I'm not very picky about what I like, because I just try noticing everything. And yeah, that's also one of my favorite things about doing street, like just being present in the moment, getting in the flow. It's kind of like a meditation for me. Yeah, like I like a lot of moments. So if I miss 1 or 2, it's okay.
But what you are looking the most in, you know, like street photos, like compositions, or you looking for story or framing?
Yeah, so it's a bit of everything. There's some photos where there's more of one than the other, but I really like looking for lighting. Like I always chase light everywhere. Framing, so like framing subjects between certain things, like using the environment to frame them. And yeah, like usually I like to shoot people who seem like they have a lot of character to them, and people who like stand out to me. And I feel like it showcases like who they are, like just them just interacting with their day-to-day life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of like, I like for character, composition, and lighting mostly.
Mm-hmm. So when you're out, you look for lighting first?
It depends on the lighting that day. Like today it's very cloudy, so there's not much like light chasing we can do. So today would be more like looking for like interesting individuals and looking for ways that can incorporate them into the environment. Nowadays, people spend most of their day on their phones. So if you want to get your name out there, if you want to put your name to potential clients that you could have, they're going to find you on social media. Like any marketing manager, any owner of a business, they're going to be scrolling and then they'll come across your thing. And it also just gives you a lot of like, it gives social proof, right? So if a client sees that like your brand is doing very good, then they're going to know that like you're valid. They're going to know to trust you. So, and it's also like a portfolio as well. It has so many different benefits. Like, I think if you're in this industry, if you're in this field, posting on social media is a no-brainer. Like, you have to at this point. Just because, like, if you get good numbers, if you grow a lot, then you're just gonna put yourself out there and have your face and have your work shown to so many more people. So it's just like a matter of exposure, right? Like, exposing yourself to different people, exposing yourself to different clients. And yeah, like, and when I started taking social media more seriously, that's when I started to see more growth, even on the business aspect. And it's also just really fun, you know? Like creating content, creating what you want, especially. But yeah, make sure if you guys are gonna go and do the social media route and do content creation, make sure that you post what you want to post. Don't just like follow trends. you can do that a little bit here and there to get your name started, and just to get your like foundation there a little bit. But after a while, that gets super boring, and you're gonna have a crash out. So always just create what you want, and create stuff that you love, and create stuff that you're passionate about, and stuff that you're proud of. It's the main thing. Always make stuff that you're proud of personally. But always like, don't look at the numbers though, because the numbers are gonna keep you like, it's gonna make your emotions dependent on like how your numbers are doing. But if you ignore that and just create and don't worry about anything else, then you'll see more growth in the numbers anyways doing that, rather than like obsessing about views and clout and all that kind of stuff.
So when you are shooting street photography, right, you normally use manual or auto?
I usually use autofocus just because I feel like manual is more suited for still objects, so when a frame doesn't have that much movement. But since in street photography there's like constantly moving objects, the people are moving around everywhere, everything's very fast paced, I like being able to just have the camera lock onto the subject and not miss a moment. Because also in street photography, there's moments every second. Like if you spend so much time on one photo, you're gonna miss another one. So autofocus helps you have a fast workflow, and it doesn't like take time away from noticing. Because the main thing about street photography is not like the photo itself, it's just being present in the moment, observing what's around you, and noticing everything, every little thing. And having a fast workflow really optimizes that, you know? It doesn't force you to like looking at your camera and making sure everything's in focus. You can just take the photo and then move on to the next one. Yeah, so a couple days ago I was shooting some street photography, and I was shooting into a bus of the bus driver. And then as I'm walking away, he rolls down the window and he's like, "Hey boss, come back here." And I just keep walking, acting like I don't hear anything. And then he starts honking at me. He honked like 5 times, but I'm just walking like this, like acting like I can't hear shit. But yeah, like sometimes, like you should be very careful. Never like provoke anyone. Never impede anyone's like personal space. And just be a respectful individual. Have good body language. Like have body language that proves that you're like a positive person and you don't have any bad intentions, and it should be fine.
Have you ever had any confrontations?
No. I think other than that time, there was a time when I first started, like literally the first day I ever took street photos, this guy started yelling at me, like saying that I was taking a photo of him. But the funny thing is, I wasn't even taking a photo of him. He was like where you are, and I was shooting that way. And he's like, "Yo, why take a photo of me, man?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm literally facing that way. I'm not even looking at you." Yeah. Other than that, like, it's pretty chill. So I'm very discreet, you know. Like I don't like being so like obvious that I'm taking a photo of like a specific person.
When you do street photography, have you ever think a lot about like what you should capture, or you just go around, you know, you see something that interests you and you just put a camera on and have a quick snap on that?
So it depends. Like most of the time I like stop for a bit, and then let's say I find a good frame, I wait for someone to like walk in it, stuff like that. If I find good lighting, I wait for a story to develop in front of me, rather than just like being very quick, run and gun. But it depends. Like sometimes when I see something like right away, I take a photo and just move on. Or sometimes I wait there, set everything up. So it's very like, it's dependent on the situation a lot. Yeah. Walk straight, but act like I'm not there. It's from like close to the fence though. Yeah, just walk straight, yeah. Cool. Appreciate it, man. It was nice meeting you.
Man. What's your name? Matthew? It's Thomas. Thomas.
Hamza. Yeah, take care, brother.
All right, man, we connect sometime, you know? Yeah, that's another good encounter.
Yeah, bro.
Like, have you ever had that kind of encounter when you do street photography before?
Yeah. Whenever I see someone with a camera, or just anyone who looks interesting, I like striking up a conversation with them, just because I want to hear like their story, a little bit more about them. And that's also, again, one of my favorite things about street, is that you get to encounter people, you get to have good conversations, you get to meet people, connect with like the environment. And yeah, it just kind of ingrains you into the society, into the community.
So what do you think about, collaborations in, not only photography, but in creative work?
Yeah, I think it's super important because starting out, I feel like most creatives don't really have creative friends. Like usually they're like a couple people out of, or maybe even they're the only person in their whole friend group who's interested in that kind of stuff. So it gets lonely at times when you're first starting out. So meeting people who are into the same things, who are also have that same creative mindset, it's super crucial, and it's so much fun, and it helps you bond with people who have like similar goals with you, and also you end up making like better work. Like when you can collaborate on a specific thing with multiple people, you get multiple minds on the same thing. And
that's true.
It's just a lot more fun that way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that too, man.
Yeah.
More, like more perspective can help you grow more.
For sure.
Rather than you doing things by yourself.
100%.
There's still people, doing things by themselves, and we respect that. I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
But like, collaborations in this type of work is kind of like crucial to me.
It is.
That's why we have an episode
important
right here.
Yeah, exactly, bro. We're doing it right now.
Walk us through a little bit about the process when you're shooting, car photography.
Yeah, so I'll say first of all, the location. Having the location plan is very, very important because I like incorporating the car into the environment. I don't really just want to showcase the car itself. I want to have it like interacting with what's around it. So first step is finding a good location that matches like the vibe of the car, like having the colors matching. So if it's like a red car, like having like black or white background, gray looks really good with red. So after you find the location, it's pretty simple from there. Like I already have like the shots I want to get in mind. So I do like a front shot, 45 degrees, back shot, get some interior stuff. I would say like the most important part of the whole process is having a good location and a car that matches that location. Then after we have that set up, it's just about like executing what I already know that I need to do. So like getting all the angles that I usually get.
Yeah, so have you ever think about incorporate, story to, this car photography? Have you ever done that?
I've never done that, but I want to. So, because I'm actually planning a video shoot. Like up until now, I've mainly done photos for cars. I haven't done like any videos, but I want to make a whole video of like a car being like parked up, and like showing the whole like starting up of the car, getting like a front angle of the car lighting up, back, and then having it like zoom around the back roads, country roads, and yeah, that would be like a pretty good story of just having like a driver like starting from like somewhere really quiet, slow, and then it's just progressing, getting faster and faster. And then near the end, he's like going very fast.
Oh, can't wait for that project, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. The guy who I'm doing it with, he's actually like, he's been flopping a lot. We were supposed to do it like a couple weeks ago, and he's a Lamborghini. So, and he's like, he keeps rescheduling, so we'll see if it happens, but regardless, I'm gonna find a car to do it with for sure. So for street photography, the 28-70 would be my favorite lens, just because it's so versatile. It lets you like zoom in a lot. And it lets you get pretty wide as well, so you can have that compression, but you can also have a frame where you're showcasing more of what's around you. But like shooting with the prime, it's a whole different experience. And even though it's not as easy and it's not as versatile, in my opinion, it's more fun because it kind of forces you to like move around more, get more interactive with your environment. So it's a completely different experience. But today we got the 35 out,
Yeah,
classic 35.
Classic 35. And what is your setting when you do in street photography? In terms of shutter speed, aperture, ISO, how you set it up for your, trying to get it.
So my aperture is usually the lowest it can go, and the ISO is also the lowest it can go. And then I just adjust the shutter speed based on the exposure I need. When the environment's very dark, I lower the shutter speed to get more brightness into the photo, raise the exposure, and when it's too bright, I just increase the shutter speed, make it faster. But yeah, like my aperture and ISO usually stays the same in the daytime. At nighttime, the aperture stays as low as possible, then I adjust the ISO and the shutter speed.
Have you ever tried to take photos of like animal?
I haven't.
Wildlife,
really.
Yep.
Like mainly birds, because that's what I haven't really seen any like super cool animals since I started photography. I definitely want to go to like Africa or other countries and do like really cool wildlife photography stuff. But a couple weeks ago, Do you remember like the supermoon that happened? Like I think it was like 2 months ago, maybe month and a half or something.
Yep.
But we were shooting that at late night in like this forest, and out of nowhere there was like a beaver. Beaver came out of nowhere. I never saw a beaver before, and I'm very fascinated on how they like create houses and stuff. So I just started following it around, taking some photos. Photos were trash, but it was cool seeing a beaver.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you just experience there. You try to do what best.
Yeah.
And if it turned out good, then it's good, you know.
Yeah.
If not, then you move on.
For sure.
All right. So what do you think about, you know, patience in photography in general?
Patience?
Yep.
It's super important. Like, feeling rushed internally is really gonna affect like the images you end up creating, because you're not gonna like be in the moment as much, and you're just gonna be in a huge rush and end up like getting the wrong shot, or you know, and even in general, like you're gonna enjoy your time more if you're patient, because internally, like patience is a state of mind that gives you the most peace. You know, you don't have like stress and like all these other factors that affect your experience. So not only if you want the best photos, you should be patient, but also if you want to have the best time, if you want to have a memorable experience, being patient and having that as like a character trait that you possess, it'll help a lot. But it's also not something that like people you're born with. Like even me, like at times I'm not patient. I need to work on that myself. But the times where I am, I always feel like more at peace and more having like a more enjoyable time in general.
What is the lessons that you learned, you know, from the project that didn't go as planned?
I would say the biggest learning lesson I've had from any projects that I've had that didn't go as planned is, first of all, be more prepared. So like pre-production planning, very, very important, so that on the day of like a shoot, you're prepared and you know what to do, and you're not gonna like forget anything. You're not gonna forget any shots. You're not gonna forget any gear. So being prepared beforehand for sure. And also just like one lesson I learned was not to get too attached to one specific thing, because if it doesn't work out, then like you don't want that to affect your other projects you have. So it's very common, like anyone watching this, you're gonna have moments where it doesn't go as planned. Don't use that as like a reason to stop, but actually use that as a reason to keep going and learn your lessons from the mistakes you made. Just be very like introspective on what went right, what went good. Write it down if anything, so that you can improve. All that really matters in this space is that you're getting better. And yeah, you're gonna have moments where it doesn't go to plan, but you know, just make sure to use that as a growth. Because anything in life, anything in creativity, the same thing could either be a positive thing or a negative thing. It's all about how you frame it and your mindset, you know? So always try to view things with the glass half full and a positive mindset.
Have you ever been through a thought that, you know, like you're gonna quit?
Not really, but I've had moments where I thought I couldn't like take it further and I wasn't able to like make it a full-time thing. But I would never like quit it as a hobby or just doing it for fun. But I definitely had like self-limiting beliefs on like whether I can take it further. You know, like fighting through that and just like having positive self-talk is super important with that. So, because every time like I had those moments, I would be like, Hamza, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. This talking to yourself like it's someone that like you're supporting is gonna help you so much. Not give up, because giving up is like the worst thing you can do. Like no matter where you are in your journey, just keep going, and good things are gonna happen regardless. You know, it might not be exactly what you want, but positive things will come out of it.
Just keep going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, so it's been a good walk today. Even
fun.
though we're not taking a lot of photos, but we talk, and then, you know, you share a lot of things.
For sure.
So, man, what is the number one lessons that you're gonna give to your younger self or a fresh new creator who just started creative journey? One lesson or message.
So, what I would say to my younger self is, first of all, trust the process. You know, don't compare yourself with other people, because everyone has their own journey. Some people get to a certain level in 4 months, some people get to it in 5 months, but they get to the same place, you know? Everyone's gonna have a different progression level, and it's okay, you know? It's okay if it takes you a little bit longer to learn some things. It's okay if you don't think you're good yet, because the more you practice, the better you'll get. And what I would say is just experiment with everything. Like, don't box yourself to ideas. If you think of an idea, write it down and experiment with it. Because trying out different things and not like sticking to one specific thing, like getting out of your comfort zone, is gonna help you grow the fastest and the best. You know, like our comfort zone is like a trap. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're not really improving as a creative or as a person. So putting yourself in situations where you don't know what to do, situations where you feel uncomfortable, you're like, shit, I don't know how to go about this. Those are the situations that are gonna help you the most. And yeah, like make sure not to compare yourself with anyone. Don't focus on the numbers, don't focus on performance. Just focus on having a good time, creating connections, getting better, and just improving as a human. So my Instagram is hamza.rashid, Hamza, Hamza dot Rashid, Rash, 3 I's, and then a D. You can find me on Instagram. I also have a TikTok, same handle. And yeah, subscribe to this guy, like, share, comment. You know, this guy's a legend. Make sure to keep watching his stuff. He's an amazing creator. And yeah, stay tuned.